What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm actually going to take this off. But for those that have never tuned in for one of my videos, real quick, I'm going to show my P&L for the day. Ooh, my shoulder, freaking crap. Ow. As you guys can see, I'm up a little bit over $1,600 on the day. What the heck? Something's going on with my shoulder. Ooh. But as you guys can see, I'm up a little bit over $1,600 on the day. We're really hitting a really solid resistance. It's showing signs of like this bull flag pattern, kind of a lot of consolidation happening at around $9.90. I actually just finished going live with about an hour ago. I finished going live with the Learn Plan Profit group, which is like the daily group that I work with every single day that I mentor. And if you guys have never watched any of my videos, my name's Ricky. I have a little bit over 48,000 subscribers. We have a little bit over 95,000 members within our free TechBud Solutions trading community. So it's that third link in the description. We don't tell you where to buy, we don't tell you where to sell, but if you like surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, like people that are always like looking for new ways on how to make money and stuff like that, then I would encourage yourself to click that third link in the description and learn a little bit more about what it is that we are. You could always like leave the group if it's not something that you want to be a part of. But I'm actually here in California. I have a flight in about 2 hours. I want to go live very quickly and just follow up with one of my trades that I talked about yesterday, and what I plan to do. So obviously, like, $1,600 is great, obviously, right, with how much it is that I'm up and stuff like that. But I talked about a very important topic within the Learn Plan Profit group today, and that was opportunity cost and understanding how much margin it had left to cover, and taking that into consideration. So looking at the 180-day chart, we could see that today is one of the first days. So first of all, if you guys didn't watch yesterday's video, I would encourage you to watch yesterday's video and talking about, I did a complete breakdown, very structured, very simple to understand. It was about like 5 to 8 minutes long on like why I saw value in USLV. It offers a very horizontal pattern. Today we got the overall confirmation that it's actively trending up above the EMA, and today's the first day. First day doesn't mean anything, so again, don't just think that if you get in right now that it's going to continue to trend up or anything like that. If anything, I would wait for a little bit more, like until it breaks above $10 to wait for more of a solid confirmation. Again, that's just me being a little bit more conservative. Obviously, I went in before the confirmation. I knew that that was a risk that I was taking. I felt like I understood the pattern enough. I felt like the opportunity cost was worth it. I added a little bit more to my position yesterday when I saw that it was picking up, and that's what kind of led to where it is that I am today. We're up a little bit over $1,600 on this on the day, and just wanted to look at the overall, wanted to break something down with you guys. So looking at the future for /SI, we can see that /SI is actually actively trending up a little bit more aggressively as well. We can see that this thing is pushing up. There would be something like, if you plan on actually swing trading this one, the first resistance that I would look out for would be this resistance that we see right around 1650. We could see that that's where the SMA line is at. Keep a very close eye out for that. Just based on previous patterns, it's had some previous resistance at around that price point. Overall, the goal would be to get it to around 1680. Do you guys get why it is that I see value in this horizontal pattern? My style of trading, it's not momentum. It's not any of that, especially not anymore. If you guys are busy with like work and school and have a lot of different things that are going on, right? I don't have time really to do the intraday plays anymore, right? With high volume momentum, and my account's a little bit larger, so I tend to take anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 positions, and obviously like having a focus on like higher cap stocks and stuff like that is something that I tend to focus on. But one thing that I think that me and our group does very well, or my group and I do very well, is we tend to focus on very consistent, like, uptrend patterns or very consistent horizontal patterns. We don't try to fluff it up, nothing like that. I'm more of a technical trader, so I try to see what patterns are making sense, what patterns are consistent, and I just try to buy when it's a good deal, right? Very simple. Something like USLV, I can see the low points, I can see the high points. It doesn't take a genius to be able to see this, but one of the biggest, I would have you ask yourself 3 things, and I've made a video about this before. You can look a little bit more into detail about it, but the first question is like, do you understand the pattern? And this is a very like broad question if you're just starting to trade. This offers a very horizontal pattern. So what I mean by that, it offers a very solid support, very solid resistance, or horizontal support, horizontal resistance, and you could see this range right within this like 180-day chart on like where it normally trades at. So you can see that it's pretty consistent and it's pretty comfortable within that area. So because of that, you can make the assumption that, okay, based on previous patterns, these are the low points, these are the high points. This is a good buy, this is a good sell. That's great and all, but what is it that you can do to ensure that you're getting in when it's actively trending up. Something that we like to wait for is for overall confirmation and the break above the 180-day EMA, meaning that when it breaks above this EMA, just like it's doing kind of right now, that it's actively trending up. So now looking back on over, this is the future, which then correlates on over. So I can look at this aftermarket hours because this actually trades for a little bit longer than what the actual stock ETF does itself. But something that I was considering on doing, like after going live with the Learn Plan Prof group, something that I was considering was like, today's the first day of overall confirmation that it's like at around that resistance at around like $10. There's no question that it's a resistance based on it being a previous support. So something that I was saying is today's the first green day. It's not an overall confirmation that it's actively trending up. It's just a signal or a kind of a alert that you can look at, as in like this like EMA line. You can see how it's not pointing down anymore. It's kind of horizontal if you look a little bit closer. So it's kind of like a identification of like, hey, there might be a reversal coming in soon, and that's what I mean by that, like, that the candles might start actively trending up. And I was asking myself like, hey, maybe I should cover profits now and then just get back in when it breaks above $10. A lot of this gap up that it tends to do does happen usually during extended hours, so that's something that I would be missing out on. But I also have to take into consideration that today we're up almost over 5% just on this specific on the day, right? And that's actually quite a bit that this thing has pushed up. And then taking that into consideration, when do I think that there's going to be a valid like all I'm thinking about right now is opportunity cost. I know that the margin from profit from around $10 to $11 is a little bit is about 10%, right? So because of that, that's huge margin. That's really what I want to capitalize on. But I'm also up a pretty decent amount today, and I know that there's a resistance at $10, and I know that it might get rejected and then go back up to $10. So then I ask myself the question, should I cover now and then just get back in when it gets to confirmation, or should I just hold and believe in the pattern? So I wanted to run it past you guys and just see what it is that you guys have to say, and kind of get some feedback. We did end up covering a couple other stocks within the Learn Plan Profit Group. If you guys follow me on Instagram, the link is down below. You guys would have been able to see that I talked about two other stocks that we were looking at that were actively trending up or that were showing signs of a potential reversal. I'm just going to be talking about them. All credit goes to the people that are part of Learn Plan Profit and their callouts and stuff like that. Again, a very horizontal pattern. We got KEM offering a very horizontal pattern, low supports around 17, resistance at around 19. Again, very simple pattern of this ascending, descending. Watch out for the earnings that might be coming up or that's coming up on the 17th. But we could see that on why it might start to reverse. Again, it doesn't have confirmation of the overall reversal just yet, but it's a very consistent pattern showing signs of a potential reversal. The other one that I also wanted to talk about was ENPH. ENPH, again, bouncing at the SMA line, breaking above the EMA, starting to show signs of an uptrend pattern, and then the overall resistance at around $5, also showing a pretty at least attractive pattern to me. And then the last thing is this, again, very horizontal pattern from support at around 52, resistance at around 56. Again, it's trying to confirm the support. There's no confirmation of the overall reversal just yet. But again, if you guys know anything about me, know anything about what it is that I like to trade, again, confirmation is key and patience is key. We're not here to tell anyone where to buy, where to sell, or nothing like that. All we want to make sure is that you understand certain patterns and concepts that we focus on so you can utilize and use those as templates. So when it comes down to breaking down the stocks that you see value in, that you have in your own watch list, that you worked very hard for to get yourself, that you can use these same concepts, these same patterns that we focus on, and then implement them to your trades to have a better understanding on when it is a good time to buy, when is it a good time to sell, and stuff like that. So again, that is really just it. And let me see what you guys have to say about my current position on USLV. So let's see. Sell half and scale out. Not a bad idea. Thank you, Don. I like that. Cover profits and just get big. Yeah, I like that. Cover profits, don't be greedy. I like it. I like it. So no, I wouldn't be able to do that. But once we establish our trading headquarters, that's gonna be something pretty exciting. That we would love to have you guys visit and then come trade with us live and stuff like that. Hold like a man. I wouldn't call it like that, but okay. cover profits, and wait for the support at $10. I really like that idea. I also really like the idea that Don gave of covering half. That is something that we've covered before in the Learn Plan Profit group. USLV, yeah. And it looks like that resistance is becoming a little bit more permanent at around $9.90. So what I'm going to do is, just so you guys can watch me trade live and stuff like that, again, nothing crazy going on here. I'm going to turn on my level 2 just to have a better understanding of where people are buying and selling. And let me go ahead and pop this up. So we can see that there's buyers at 988, sellers at 989. What I'll do here is, nope, I don't want to do that. Shoot, my computer is like really slowing down. So what I'll do is I'll sell, let's go ahead and click and edit this. Wow, this is really slowing down. I'm really sorry. I'm again in California, so I'm not using my desktop, so the delay, I mean, it's pretty slow right now. So I'm going to put with the limit order right here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and follow. I think I can exit once it pushes up to around 990. I'm going to be able to exit at 989. So what I'll do is I'll just put the limit order at 989. I'll wait for it to push up just so I can see it on the bid, and then I'll send it so it could execute. So I'll confirm and send, and then just give it 1 second. One quick second. Let's see if we could actually get a push. So right now we're at 988. I don't want to be too greedy or anything like that. So if I see it actually starting to pull back and get rejected a little bit harder, then I'll go ahead and sell. But let's see. You actually see it pulling. No, it's still consolidating. Do you guys see? Yeah, it's not like making lower lows or anything like that. Let's go ahead and just be patient and wait out for a bit. And we're not talking about a large amount. I think for every cent, it's about like $20 $30, something like that. So let's see where it's at. All right, there we go. We're getting a nice little push up. Do you see how it built that support? It's now going to start pushing up. Because of that, there we go, a nice little push up. We should be seeing the bid now at 989. I'm just going to go ahead and send it. We actually have quite a bit of sellers, yeah, quite a bit of sellers at that specific price point. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just end up getting rid of it at 988. It's not even worth the time. There we go. Oh shoot, it didn't sell the entire order. All right, it looks like it's still working on getting filled right now, but it's going to be working on getting filled. So I sold like about 60% of my position, and the reason that I'm doing that is I could always get back in, but I'm still leaving enough there just so I have some skin in the game. And that is really just it. I just wanted to show you guys me trading or covering some of my profits live. For all those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, you guys get to watch me trade live every single day, right? So for all those that have ever wondered or want to look a little bit more into like me trading live and want to have a better understanding of asking me questions, if you guys have or ever wondered, oh, there we go. So there's a remainder, I think. No, I still have. I think I've only sold 1,000 shares out of the 2,000, so my limit order is still there. But yeah, just let's see what you guys have to say. I'll move you guys on over. I'm gonna cover my face just so you guys could. Well, I'll have you guys like red here, and I'll move the charts over here. I sold at 978. Nice, nice. I like it. I like it. Boom, boom, boom. Drip, boom. There you go. Don't like it. So we got 5.7. G saying, damn it, Ricky, I see your gains and it shows me what's possible, but as now, I'm new and I haven't started focusing. Yep, 100%. So, and just like I've told you guys multiple times, like I'm trading with a much larger account. I showed you guys, like I started this account with $5,000 and to show you that I can grow it to over 25,000 and stuff like that. And one thing that I wanted you guys that I've talked about multiple times before is like, I've been trading for quite a while, so please don't let my profits be something that you think that you're going to be able to make right away, right? It's definitely something to work towards, but it's definitely something that's possible. I showed you guys that, I'm very conservative. I feel like I'm very consistent, and when it comes down to trading, I focus on patterns that make sense to me. And you guys can ask any member, like that's something that I 100% stand behind. The people within the Learn Plan Profit, they know that I'm not here to spoon feed anyone. They know that I'm not here to encourage anyone to take any positions or nothing like that. I'm here to talk about what patterns work well for me, and 100% like my goal is just that. So Peter Wrinkle is saying, I plan to on surpassing you, and that's the goal. My goal has always been like trying to uplift and motivate everyone, right? But at a certain stage, like just know that that's why a lot of people that are starting to get started within the Learn Plan Profit group that I work with every single day, I encourage you to focus less on the dollar value and focus more on percentage growth. And that's why in yesterday's video I talked about my 14% potential trade, right? Because that's really when it comes down to trading, especially when getting the ball rolling. You want to focus on consistent and percentage growth. That's something that I feel like a lot of people don't do very well when they're first getting started. Is they tend to focus too much on dollar value, even sometimes too much on high volume or high cap stocks. I'm sorry, low volume and low cap stocks. And unfortunately, I think that's a huge misconception for a lot of people that aren't consistent, don't understand momentum, and find it very difficult to like find these like great call outs or these great alerts and stuff like that. I find my approach to be very conservative, very easy to understand, but obviously that's why I do it, so it works well for me. We're all wired in different ways, and you just pick whatever individual you resonate the best with, and that's the whole part of our TechBot Solutions trading community. We have over 95,000 members. We're one of the largest and fastest growing trading communities out there, and it's because I think that we're really here to instill the right qualities in our traders and in our entrepreneurs. And it's not just investing in one market, but it's investing in multiple markets, as you guys know that I do. It's trading and investing with no borders, right? We don't limit ourselves. We're very open-minded, and we're here to uplift one another. Most importantly, we're not here to sell a get-rich-quick scheme or nothing like that. It's for all those that are part of Learn Plan Profit. Although the course itself is about 7 hours of brand new content, I tell people that although it's only 7 hours, I would encourage you to take 2 weeks to complete the entire course. 20-30 minute a day sections. After you learn something, test out the waters. You have me that you're working with every single day. So all those that are part of Learn Plan Profit get access to a private group chat, which I go live with every single day at market open. They get to watch me trade live. They get to ask me questions. So just imagine a Sunday stock talk that we all look forward to every single Sunday, but every single day. And then you guys actually get to watch me trade live. That's what the Learn Plan Profit is. And that's what it's all about. Obviously, we have an amazing TechBot Solutions trading community. And there's a bunch of amazing communities out there, right? Just all I ask you to do is to do your own due diligence, see what individuals and what communities you work the best with, and pick that. Whatever works best for you and whatever you actually see give you the best return, as in like who you work the best with, and then what patterns and what techniques help you grow your account. That's what it's all about, right? You might resonate very well with someone that does like momentum trading, right? And that might be your niche. My niche is a little bit more short-term conservative swing trading, but as you can see, it works pretty well for me. Yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, was a little bit over like $200 to $300. Today was a little bit over as of right now, I'm up a little bit over $1,500 on the day. But the reason that I'm not covering profits is because I do see potential for this position to be able to make me $4,000 to $4,500. And on average, again, I don't bring in on average like $5,000 or anything like that a week or anything like that. My goal is anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 a week. It gets me to my weekly goal, and it covers everything that I want to. I focus on very consistent patterns. You guys can watch all my videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and feel free to do your own due diligence. Like before you join any community, before you make up your mind on who's the best or anything like that, I 100% know that I'm not the best, and I'm just very consistent and I'm very conservative, and I feel like I understand patterns a little bit more than the average person, and it works very well for me. You guys have seen me trade live time after time, and that's really what it's all about. So for all those that are asking breakdowns and stuff like that, I have to leave in about 4 minutes just because I'm going to be late to my flight. So right now, something that we covered within like JDST and JNUG, for those that are going to be asking those questions, I see that JNUG is approaching somewhat of a resistance. JNUG is approaching somewhat of a support right now. I like to call this a critical point. I would like to follow up tomorrow and to see what gets rejected and what gets the confirmation of the bounce. Same thing with DGAS. DGAS is showing more signs of a support right now and showing signs more of an uptrend pattern, where UGAS is actually showing more signs of a reversal. We talked about those 3 other tickers such as ENPH, DAL, and then the last one was KEM. A lot of them are still having to wait for the full-on confirmation, so just please note that. And that is really just it. So, oh, 100%. So, yeah, I know the internet must be pretty bad over here because, yeah, my parents have like the worst Wi-Fi, even worse. I mean, my Wi-Fi I think is a little bit better at my house. So, but yeah, that is really just it. So I just wanted to show you guys some of my trades live, what I ended up doing. I ended up covering, I guess, 1,000 shares. So about, what is that, about $10,000 of my USLV position. Again, the reason that I don't plan on covering my entire position right now just has to be to my overall swing trade potential, that I definitely do see value in this. I see value, or the pattern that I see with USLV is this very consistent horizontal pattern, anywhere from $10 to about $11, and that's about a 10% margin. So just imagine how much it is that I'm up right now, and then adding another, like, $2,500 on top of this and stuff like that. So being able to get me to my overall goal of about $4,000 for this position. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, that is really just it. So I guess my question is done. I'm sorry, I didn't see your question, bud. There's so many questions that are coming up that I'm not even looking at all of them. I do apologize. I covered losses today. I don't feel really bad. Can I ask what's your biggest loss? And so I don't feel discouraged. There's actually a video that I have about it on YouTube. I mean, my biggest loss, it would have to have been something like recent. I think I took like a $2,000 loss on drip when I was trading that one, and 100% it sucks. And honestly, it wasn't even the dollar value that really hurt me. It was more of the opportunity cost. Like, I knew I should have cut losses on that like much quicker, and I knew that there was potential. I think at that time it was something like DGAS or JDST was running up, and I just didn't cut losses quick enough. That's something that I shared with the people that are part of Learn Fly Profit. I didn't cut losses quick enough, so it did set me back a little bit. But it's not even about that. It's be just understanding that, like, right now, especially if you're just getting started, you're gonna make mistakes. And once you kind of get the ball rolling and you get the routine going, yes, these like larger losses do hurt from time to time. But just note that, like, if you can really work on managing and minimizing your risk and focus on consistent and long-term growth, and focusing on quality patterns, again, patterns that you actually understand, then that's kind of what the goal is, right? Focusing on what you understand, what makes sense to you, and forget about what everyone else says. Like, all these people that try to sell you alerts, that try to tell you where to buy and where to sell, that's all BS, right? Because if those stocks were so good, then why don't they go in with their entire portfolios and trade? Not even that, because I get the overall buying power effect that it might have on the overall account. But if someone's trying to sell you alerts, I would be very iffy, or just have huge red flags on why they're trying to sell your alerts, especially if they have a solid following. There's a lot of manipulation that can happen in that, and unfortunately they tend to get in before everyone else does, and then they choose to capitalize on it. So and that's why you need to be very cautious about that. I would encourage everyone to never trade based on other people's opinion. Always invest in what you understand, and always have a plan when investing. So understanding where you're buying, where you're selling, and where you're cutting your losses. That's something that we repeat in almost every single video that I make, and it's because I want to make sure that everyone is guided in the right direction. So that is really just it. All the links are down below. If you guys want to learn more about me and my private community, be sure to click that first link in the description. If you guys haven't checked out my videos, I have over 800 videos. A lot of them are showing my trades, just showing about like a lot of breakdowns and patterns and stuff like that. I'm more of a technical trader, so just expect that. I also invest in different markets, so you guys can feel free to check out those videos as well. And that's really just it. We have an amazing Tech But Solutions community. I want to give a shout out to Ferris. I want to give a shout out to Lupo. I want to give a shout out to Brad. They're the ones that make our group what it is. And it wouldn't be great without you guys. I also want to give a shout out to Don from our Learn Plan Prof group. Thank you again for all the time that you dedicate in assisting our private course members and making this community what it is. So thank you guys again for everything that is that you guys do. I hope you guys all have a beautiful day. I'm going to be flying back to Arizona today, and then we should have a pretty nice video later on for you guys, just doing some breakdowns and stuff like that, and talking about how to end the week on a green note. So that is really just it. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.